The 2022 Sundance Film Festival is just days away, and it's fully online, which means you can watch the movies from the comfort of your own home. My name's Anna, and today I'm going to talk about movies that I'm excited to see at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival. Alice is an entry in the U.S. dramatic competition this year, and the plot revolves around a woman who escapes servitude in 1800s Georgia, only to find herself in the 1970s. Cool premise. It stars Keke Palmer, who I'm excited to see her star rising this year. She'll also be in the Jordan Peele movie in 2022 called Nope, also starring R. Common and Johnny Lee Miller. So, good cast.
Good soup.
I always like to check out the horror movies that come out of Sundance. They tend to pick up some good ones. And Duel is one that I'm really looking forward to. It stars Aaron Paul and Karen Gillan. The plot is Karen Gillan's character has a terminal diagnosis, and in order to comfort her friends and family, she wants to clone herself, but it doesn't go as intended, and she ends up having to duel her clone to the death. It sounds more like a sci-fi movie to me, and it really reminds me of that one Black Mirror episode with the cloning situation. I wonder if it's even based on that. I'm not sure because it's so incredibly similar, minus the dueling part. But the premise is really interesting, and I'm excited to check it out at the festival. Another horror movie that I'm excited to check out at the festival is Watcher, starring Micah Monroe. And the plot of this is Micah Monroe's character and her fiance move into a new apartment building, only to find herself being watched by a neighbor. Very classic horror premise. I really liked Micah Monroe in It Follows, so excited to check this movie out. It's one of their late midnight premieres, which is usually pretty cool. I saw some pretty funky horror last year at the festival, and I hope that this is another entry in the good horror movie category. This is a movie that I have been dying to see since it premiered at Cannes in 2021. It is a Norwegian film called The Worst Person in the World. If you're plugged into the film world a whole lot, you've probably already heard about this movie. It's been getting a lot of love lately. I have not had a chance to see it anywhere. I don't live in a market where it's been in theaters or anything, so this is my first opportunity to see this movie. It is going to be at Sundance. From what I've heard, it's kind of Frances Ha, like a 30-something woman trying to find her way in the world, trying to find a path for herself, and stumbling along the way. Very relatable premise. I am so excited to finally be able to see this movie. Daisy Edgar-Jones and Sebastian Stan star in the movie Fresh, which is about the horrors of modern dating life. It sounds like Sebastian Stan's character may have some interesting appetites that are concerning to Daisy Edgar-Jones's character. I don't really know anything about this movie. I don't know what the tone of it really will be, if it's more of a horror, if it's a comedy. I honestly don't know. But I stan Sebastian Stan, my man. It sounds like he's going to have a big 2022, and this is a great way to start it off. The final fictional entry that I'm looking forward to at the festival is Cha Cha Real Smooth. In my opinion, it is not an indie film festival without a Dakota Johnson movie. Cha Cha Real Smooth is about a man who works at a bar mitzvah party and forms an unlikely friendship with a woman and her autistic daughter. Always got to check out the Dakota Johnson entries at a festival, and I think Cha Cha Real Smooth will be a good one. Switching over to the documentary side of things, don't go away yet, because I will say, of the movies that I watched at Sundance last year, the docs were probably my favorite. I really think that watching some documentaries at Sundance is a really good way to experience the festival because they historically have a really good track record of bringing amazing docs to Sundance. One that really intrigues me is Lucy and Desi, which is directed by Amy Poehler, who you probably know as a comedian extraordinaire from Parks and Rec and SNL. She is making her documentary directorial debut with this movie. I hope it is a better representation of Lucille Ball than Being the Ricardos was. I did not love that Aaron Sorkin movie. I will note though, if you aren't planning on watching this at the festival, it is going to be on Hulu very soon. Another very buzzed about documentary that will be at Sundance is Genius, a Kanye trilogy. This is a 270-minute documentary about Kanye West. I am choosing not to watch it at the festival because I don't want to watch a 270-minute documentary in one sitting. I am not patient enough for that, and it will be on Netflix very soon. They also announced that pretty recently. Like Kanye or not, or Ye, I think that's his name now, is Ye. Like Ye or not, this guy's really interesting. He's a hallmark figure of modern music, and the documentary spans 1998 to modern times, and certainly will portray a really interesting picture of a really interesting person. I have no doubt that it will be worth watching, even if you're not a big Kanye fan. Yay fan. A documentary entry from Sweden has also caught my eye. It's called Calendar Girls, and despite being a Swedish entry, it actually takes place in Florida and is about a dance troupe of women in their 60s. It just sounds precious and great, and I like to see cute older women being awesome. So I'm totally gonna check this out. I just think it sounds really heartwarming and nice. I think a lot of documentary filmmaking, at least the ones that are taken seriously, are often really heavy subjects. And that doesn't mean that fun documentaries can't also be good. So I'm hopeful that this is more of a heartwarming entry in the midst of a lot of heavier documentaries. So those are my picks for what to check out at Sundance 2022. If you want to go, you can buy tickets online. There are single film tickets. I think they're $20. You can also buy passes for the whole weekend and day passes if that's more your speed, if you know that you're going to be checking out a lot of movies in a single day. I recommend just taking a look at the schedule. Even if there's just one movie that really catches your eye, you get to watch it from the comfort of your own home, and if it's a premiere, you're going to be some of the first people in the entire world to see this movie, and that's a pretty cool feeling. I really enjoyed it last year doing the online experience. I think it's worth the money if there's stuff that you want to watch. Comment below if you do plan to check out a Sundance movie. Let me know what movies I missed that you are pretty excited about, and I hope that you subscribe and come back very soon. Bye!